Yeah, very rarely does it get banned, especially in the second phase. I mean, it does shut down the Night Stalkers. He like tries to run at heroes. A Frostbite
Mm-hmm.
will shut him down with his crippling fear, pretty hard. But maybe they plan on taking something like a Templar Assassin on their side, and they're just worried about like just a hard counter Frostbite to them. I was
Oh.
going to say Pango, but that one's already been banned as well. They take Disruptor and Punch, so they have amazing pickoff potential. Like all these heroes just want to run at you. Unfortunately, nobody other than Enigma is that good at killing towers, so they're gonna struggle to translate this into objectives with Disruptor, Tusk, and Pudge. I think whatever their last hero is, it needs to just be able to put in a ton of physical damage because right now BKBs counter out the majority of what they have in Cringe Crew. Go for Clock. I mean, that's
Okay.
a really good Disruptor and Pudge counter. I like Clock a lot here. I'm actually just a massive Clockwork fan in general. The hero is a lot of fun to play
Mm-hmm.
and to watch.
The Clockwork is a hero that is always going to be doing something, no matter what point of the game you're in, no matter what items he has, right? You go in and you do things, even if you end up dying instantly. At
Clock
least you
is always
try.
right twice a game.
Oh man. But now what else are we really looking at here? There's bans on the Invoker out from the Alpha side. Cringe Crew take away the TA, which I guess kind of does double duty there in terms of the positions, but in terms of Cringe Crew's bans, it really depends on what they think this Tiny's doing in terms of a 1 or a 2.
Mm-hmm. Um, I guess they just have to guess. I mean,
Yeah.
bring out what it is that they're most afraid to play against. They see a Templar, or they saw Templar Assassin as a possible threat when they saw the Crystal Maiden ban come out, so they get rid of that one as well. And it's something you can flex around the same way that you can flex a Tiny around. You switch those in 1 and 2 interchangeably. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Usually you'll want to have the Tiny fill more of a utility role when you have a Templar Assassin on your team, but again, it's not something you have an option of doing anymore. Cringe Crew's banned that one out. And I guess they're afraid enough of Sooths that they get rid of the Invoker. I mean, this is one of his signature heroes, and finally they ban out the Monkey King. So early game strength, leaning strength, I think is what they're most concerned about on Cringe Crew. They want to be able to dominate all the lanes. Then they get rid of Ember last. I should think about how they want to round out this draft. I think they take fights into them reasonably well in Cringe Crew, but they're not amazing at starting fights,
Mm.
which Ember would have helped them with a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing a Void Spirit or I want to say Void Spirit or Puck, but then they both get countered by Night Stalker pretty hard. Like he gets on top of you, all of a sudden you just can't use any of your abilities. You're forced to build up a BKB.
Well, I don't know. The Void Spirit is still a hero that Sooths has played pretty frequently, so if they wanted to try and force it, the option is there. I feel like there's no real option they can go for mid that isn't going to want to BKB anyway going up against a Night Stalker, so maybe that's less of a concern, and could go all the way in the other direction and take 0 mobility on something like Alina and just maximize damage and hope that the lockdown from the rest of Cringe Crew is enough.
You can't do that because you're playing against a Clockwork and a Night Stalker. Dude, this is actually insane. I mean, you're playing against a Clockwork and a Night Stalker. These heroes are going to want to run at you. You can kind of punish it with a Static Storm and a Black Hole. Like, you run all the heroes at the Sniper, all of a sudden, everybody's grouped up for an amazing Black Hole. But you either have to rush a Force Staff or you're relying on just using Aghanim Shard. Was it a Concussive Grenade?
Right.
You're relying on Concussive Grenade to get you out of the Clockwork. The Night Stalker is not going to be able to get rid of at all. It is your physical damage, so it helps a little bit, but this is super high risk, man.
Yeah, you really are banking on the rest of the team keeping the Night Stalker away, because Sniper at close range really doesn't do much of anything. It just kind of instantly dies, and well, I don't know. I can see it working if you're Cringe Crew, but you have to maintain that separation, right? There's just no option otherwise. But got things like Glimpse. You're gonna have Snowball if the Pudge gets an Aghanim Scepter, then you can just sort of eat up your teammate and keep him safe like that. So they will have some means of operating around it. Of course, all those heroes have to be out of the Night Stalker's silence first to do any of that, but they'll be there.
Right.
Okay, Weaver last
Weaver
pick.
now picked up last. Who's we playing it? All right, it's gonna be Rises on it.
Mm-hmm. Carry Weaver, Tiny mid, Monster will take the Night Stalker. Then on the Cringe Crew side, pretty much what we expected, right? The position 1 Pudge again, Sooth Sniper. So, leaning against the Tiny for that Sniper will be an interesting scenario.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about the Sniper, man. I keep looking at this thing and I'm thinking, okay, it just gets run out by the clockwork. Like as soon as this guy hits level 6, he's gonna get hit with a hook shot, and I'm not sure the Tosk or the Pudge are going to be in position to save him when that happens. I think he just gets run down, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's tanky enough.
Well, we'll see what the item build looks like, right? Because I guess you could sort of go in for the Hurricane Pike. We kind of saw Kataro try something similar earlier today with the Drow Ranger, so you've got something to kind of base your build off of. Of course, that was a Drow, not a Sniper. It's not exactly a 1-to-1, but it's gonna have to work. Otherwise, Monster's just right on your ass all game long.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I got, man, I'm really not a fan of these new loading screens, man. Maybe even the Dire Tide game mode.
Oh, we are loaded in and ready to go here. Game 2 getting underway. As a reminder, Cringe Crew were able to take the opening match of the series, so they are up 1-0, looking for a potential 2-0 sweep here, while Alpha backs against the wall a little bit. As we mentioned earlier today, there is still a lower bracket here for them to operate in, but yeah, you never really want to.
Lower bracket.
Yeah, that's not the right mentality at this stage, so we'll see if these adjustments work, because as you said, there's a lot of questions about that Sniper, and Alpha have put themselves in a position where on paper they're going to have an advantage.
Big honk fan here. All right, so what's your ideal Sniper build? Yeah, I saw a couple of people were just ignoring shrapnel completely and going into headshot and take aim. But it looks like he's already put a point into shrapnel here.
I guess so, yeah.
I think you kind of have to do this if you're playing in the mid lane, I feel. To be able to like zone the enemies away. Like so much of the mid lane is covered by the shrapnel that it just feels super good.
I don't really mind the build with just maybe just the 1 point, like the value point in it, and then you go and max out the others, but skipping it entirely just feels a little... I guess if you get away with it, sure, fine, then you maximize your farming, but when you don't get away with it, you kind of look a little bit silly. Speaking of looking silly, Widge, yeah, that's not a place you want to be. Gets pulled in by the hook, and Elm is able to find first blood there on the carry Pudge, so this will be an interesting one. His start was a little bit slower in game 1, right? Same hero, same side of the map even, but if he's able to get some extra gold, and if this lane plays out safely for him, then you get that Vanguard a few minutes earlier, and all of a sudden, Monster's really not able to harass you much.
Yeah. I would be surprised if he goes for the hook on the Monster here. Usually, well, he doesn't need to use it as he makes to secure the range creep anyways, but usually first hook of the game, other than ones you go for kills, but if you just use to secure the range creep, he's going to be fine. Top lane is where a lot of action is starting. Yudomi actually finds himself caught out, but I don't think he'd be able to finish him off too much speed on this clockwork, so the wrap around and get away. Soul's taking a lot of damage as well. He's already sitting at like sub 300 HP over in the mid lane and doesn't have the gold for his bottle yet. We'll have it soon.
Oh yeah, that should be coming his way just a little bit from now. In the meantime, Realm actually hit another hook onto Widge down bot, but they weren't actually able to finish off the kill that time around, but there's going to be a constant threat as Widge throws out the arrow. Follow-up hook doesn't connect, but they're just really at this point kind of going fishing, just looking to see, can we hit anything onto anyone? You know, if
the
somebody's...
answer is no.
Yeah, basically. If you're out of position, you could get punished, but still got a hit. Although, in fairness to Widge, the arrow did hit the Warden, it's just they couldn't do anything with it. Now he's going to start taking some creeps. That's a slightly better use of it.
I mean, unfortunately, all we can find with it is the ghost, as they ended up blocking the hard camp here. Never feels great with Mirana to have to arrow the small camp.
Oh. Let's see what else Widge looks to do here. He's kind of snuck around the backside, but... Okay. Monster is going to try and make a move. The Warden... He's taking a little bit of damage. I don't know if it's enough, though. He's going to pop a Fairy Fire. Widge, though, still chasing. Able to get on top of him, and... They will find themselves the kill, but Realm is looking for a little bit of revenge. Can he stick on the Night Stalker, though? No, he can't. And now, he doesn't really have any mana, but Widge can't really kill him.
Oh, very nice. Thought he'd lose his courier for sure there, but... Alright, he's... Dude, Widge could get himself killed here. He's got a wand, he can pop this, get another extra 150 in the lead charge. But... Alright, yeah.
Huh.
20 mana short of another hook as well, so he's not going to be able to find him. Zeus managed to find Soul in the mid lane. He was at like 30 HP when he finds a kill as well.
So Widge does not die, kills the courier, gets away. Sooths finds the unbelievably close kill mid onto the Tiny, and now up in the top lane, Yomi. He's getting a little bit caught here. He cogs himself in with Flea while Sunlight was just hitting from outside. Then he's trapped in the shard, so he will fall. Meanwhile, Widge just killed himself to a tower. So, doesn't really give up too much there. But that's Cringe Crew with a 4-1 start in terms of the kill count. Trying to just play a little bit more aggressively in the early stages. Arrow?
It's going well for him.
No. Widge snipes a creep, but not much more than that. And going back to the mid matchup, Neph, Soul gets taken down, right? Zeus got one up over on him. Does that have an effect on the dynamic in this lane, or is it just sort of a misstep that Soul can recover from?
I think that it makes things super easy for the sniper. I mean, he just builds double Wraith Band here after that. Monster ends up going down a second time. Not good. But yeah, I think that it helps the sniper a lot. Like, before, you might have a little bit of kill potential off of the sniper, but once he's out leveling you and getting like tons of pot shots off you before you hit your level 6, I mean, you're a 0 armor hero. Sniper can just bully you right out of the lane, and that's basically what he's trying to do. So, it should have been a fairly free lane for Tiny, now kind of goes the other way around.
There's a little bit of a push onto Rises there in the top lane. They were able to hit him up a bit, but they don't really have the full lockdown for this. Even if they hit something like the Snowball and the Malefice, it's not
Pudge ends up
quite
losing the
there.
courier.
Widge sniped it out again. That's 2 couriers, but he does have the Vanguard delivered out to him, so should be okay.
Yeah,
Let's go on mid. Sooths. He's going to try and fight back here with the Shrapnel. Soul may go down. No, he's going to live, but there's the Snowball.
Can he? Oh, he does.
Okay. Flea comes in to clean things up. There's a leap charge there, so he's not even going to really bother with the shards, but... Well, at least you find that kill, right? It's unfortunate that the sniper gets kind of caught out, but they do still punish the Tiny.
Yeah. And give Flea a little bit of extra farm to work with as well. Had Solo kill off the enemy mid lane there. Really speeds up his level 6. In fact,
this is getting a little awkward, though. Yudomi. Can he get the angle? Well, if the avalanche goes down, he certainly can. There's going to be the cogs pushing Zeus back. Can Flea save the day? He can delay. Zeus might still be in trouble, though, but that actually pulled so damn far. Zeus is going to walk out of here.
Blocks them off.
And Zeus is actually going to turn around. He's going to go for the assassinate onto Yudomi. It's not enough for the kill, but the Warden's coming in to try and help out, and this fight is kind of going the way Cringe Crew wants it, I guess. I don't even really know.
I mean, the shards end up blocking him off. He goes in with the snowball, and he ends up getting away because of it. So that's a pretty sick play there by Flea.
Oh, man. Flea comes in, snowballs to the other side of the tower, and it does cost him his own life, but Sooth lives, and they find... was 2 kills in that scenario, so... just fine play from the Tusk. We do have a DC, though, coming out here, so... waiting on the clockwork to get back in.
I hope he comes back. Certainly that wasn't... I mean, that pause came out after he exited from the game. I'm sure that was just a coincidence, though. That would be very unfortunate if he simply DC'd from the game there, but he did get absolutely styled on. I cannot believe the sniper got it out of that one. They wrapped around the tower behind him and he got no escape point, which is what I was super concerned about when I saw this sniper pick. You just melt incredibly easily, but managed to find the kills and get the sniper out of there at the same time. Nice plays there by Flea. Elsewhere on the map, we haven't had a chance to talk about Weaver at all. He is going to be a problem. This man is basically free farming up in the top lane. He's sitting at 52 CS here at 6 minutes in.
What's he got? He's got the Javelin. Mjolnir going to be coming his way. Yeah, pretty solid start. And unless Sunlight hits 6 and then is willing to actually throw out the black hole, there's just not really much kill potential onto this Weaver. So it's a pretty solid lane for him. Of course, Sunlight has been farming relatively well. He's not exactly up here in the top like 2 or 3, but you compare him to any other core other than the Weaver, and he's pretty damn close. So, as you mentioned in the draft, Neph, this is always the thing about the Enigma. Yes, the black hole is a problem, but he also farms up faster than you would expect from a lot of other offlane picks.
Yeah, you leave him alone for a moment, and then all of a sudden that race pack is done, and taking fights in the enemy team feels impossible. It's not going to be so easy to find a kill off on the rises here, unfortunately, so Flea rotates up top, but it's more so to keep Sunlight safe rather than find anything on his own.
Oh, Widge making his way over. Dropped a ward down here, so he should know. Yeah, he knows that the Warden is trying to stack this. Sentry down, though, so gets the D-ward. Can't get the stack, obviously, but at least you take that vision away. Now, Flea is going to try to hit up onto Widge. Widge is going to jump over the shard, so he is just fine, but over in the top lane, Sunlight's in some trouble. He is going to be safe for now, and now Realm comes in. They actually drop down the Dismember, and oh, okay. We said Rises was not going to be an easy kill, and it certainly was, and it requires 4 heroes in, but they get a kill without popping the black hole.
I'm genuinely shocked they didn't find the kill, but yeah, finally kill on top note with you on the side of Alpha does not bode well for them. Now, Pudge actually sitting in the top after grabbing that one. He gets himself a soul ring. I mean, this will make his farm just super fast. Being able to spam soul ring and then like rot down to camp means you end up taking no damage. It doesn't cost you any mana either. It just allows him to farm the pause one incredibly fast. I just decided to move down to the bottom lane after that, and looks like they're gonna be able to grab this tower pretty uncontested. We're on the first lane right now, and it is super dangerous, especially like try to defend this tier 1 in the bottom lane. If Monster decides to pop his ultimate, while you like sit down here, you know, the free vision, the unobstructed pathing, it's just way too difficult fighting a Night Stalker, so forced to give that one up.
Oh, tower taken, but now Alpha, they're making their way towards that sort of middle lane here with the 2-man smoke, but I think they're starting to see that there's more than just suits in this lane, so, or at least there was. Some of those heroes have already kind of shoved off, so the moment passes for them. The Tiny just goes back to the middle lane to farm, and they are sort of eyeballing this top lane, but Yodomi sends out the flare. Spidey senses tingling. He knows they might be coming to get him, but it's actually Seuss mid who does get jumped in on. Monster pops that ult to rotate in. And Yodomi's vision kind of works out, right? He sees there's 2-3 heroes top, which means there can't be enough backup mid to protect that sniper, and they make the trade.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we expected when we saw the sniper pick come out, which is why we were both a little bit confused. Like, you just get run at and killed fairly easily. You get a tower at the same time, but you definitely don't want your mid laner going down like that. He's not even going for a 4-staff as his first item either, which is insane. End up losing Rice again. That is not great. I missed that one. He's just getting hooked and dismembered. Mid lane we got more action though.
Hook Dismember play, finds the kill. Meanwhile, mid, Snowball hits onto Monster. Flea, though, he's going to walk away. Okay. And now they're going to try and turn. Monster is going to get glimpsed back. Flea, I don't know if you want to stand there, but he is going to lay his life on the line here to try and find the kill, and they will get it. Flea didn't even go down.
Off the mark there, that Marauder.
I thought Flea was just going to sacrifice himself, but they didn't need that sacrifice. Meantime, did he just really? Okay. Sunlight uses Eidolons to deny a rune. I think he would have just gotten it if he'd have gone on foot, but better safe than sorry. Rises, though, not safe in the slightest. Another
good, man.
death.
Yeah, he farmed the first part of this game so well. He's top of the CS chart. He's above everyone else as far as net worth goes, and he just ends up taking 3 deaths in a row after that.
Oof. Yeah, what is he? He's 0-3. He doesn't even have an assist, really?
No, this is just after he completes his maelstrom as well, so he builds his farming on him. He's been taking death after death after that. It's slowed down his game so much.
Now Widge might be in some trouble. Do they glimpse into Hook? How do they want to play this? Let's see. They miss Hook and then they walk away. That was not one of the options I presented.
It's how they keep you on your feet, man.
Whoops. The Widge. Not sure he realized how close he could have been to death there, but he just keeps on farming, and honestly, if you're the Pudge, I don't think you care that much. Realm's just going to go back to farming. He's working his way towards that Aghanim Scepter. Where did that go? I think it just hit Soul mid. Okay. They know the Assassinate's down in Suits. They're going to try to jump. The Hook, though, it's a little bit off. It hits onto the creep, so Suits really wasn't locked down for very long. Static Storm follows it. And now the Glimpse is going to pull Yunomi back in. There's going to be the Snowball as well. They need a little bit more damage to actually finish the job, and they do manage to find it. Zeus gets the kill, and now... Well, if you're Alpha, what do you really do? Monster pops the Ascension, so... If you find nothing here, that is a huge cooldown wasted.
Yeah. And it's switched over to daytime now as well, so this Night Stalker's not going to be very effective for the next, 3 minutes here. Or 2 at the very least until Dark Ascension is back up. So this basically... It's starting to look like a free tower here.
Glimpse. Okay, that wasn't a very long glimpse. The Hook will miss. Assassinate. I guess it hits onto Widge, but the damage really isn't significant. But they're just trying to keep their opponents off this tower. Trying to get the tier 1, but the Glyph is going to slow them up. Do they stick around for it, though? It looks like they will, and they'll get it. Oh. Alright, well, they'll get it at the end of the day, but coordination was not 100%, but hey, they still bring Widge down. They got the tier 1 tower. Sunlight's got Black Hole in 20. So if they want to try rotating top, maybe push Rises out here again, they can certainly do that as Rises. Hit by the Malefice. He's got 8 seconds left before he has that time lapse. The Hook is not going to connect. It's only level 1. Actually, that doesn't change the cast range. It only changes the damage. My bad. But
yeah. Man,
at least Rises
that thing, I believe it was 400, 600, 800, 1000. Level 1 Hook was 400 range back in the day, I think.
It was
bad ability.
It was like you maxed Hook or you didn't pick Pudge, but
maybe it was 600. It was something abysmal back in the day. This is Dota 1 though.
Oh, no connection there, so the Clockwork is going to survive, but you see the way Cringe Crew are sort of playing up right now, right? They've pushed into this north side jungle with really no response as Monster is getting smacked around a little bit, but we're not quite there yet. Seuss is not going to be able to just one-man sort of kill a Night Stalker at 13, but it gets him off the tower. Of course, he doesn't do much chip damage to that tower, because, as we said, we're 13 minutes in on the Sniper, but he's able to do some damage for free. He's going to grab... No, he's not going to grab the Haste Rune. He waits a little bit too long. He's going to get punished for that one. I mean, he didn't have his bottle anymore, so he wasn't trying to sort of do any shenanigans there. He just doesn't pick it up immediately, and now this is going to turn into a larger fight. Yunomi may very well be sacrificed at this point, though, as he does get taken down, so phase 2 of the engagement is not great. They might lose another support.
Alright, not as great then.
Both the supports for Sniper is, well, according to the teamfight recap, actually going to favor Cringe Crew by like 30 gold, but technically it's a win.
Just favor them by 30 gold? Impressive.
Woo!
Yeah, slowing down the Sniper's game I think is the biggest thing, and this does open up Roshan for them as well. You're going to scout this one out with a rocket player, but I don't really think they'd be able to do much to assist.
Yeah, they're not even really gonna try. Witch will throw an arrow, but the Warden, he saw that coming. Stands in front.
Dude,
Okay,
you got the
okay,
kill with the
okay.
slam!
Nicely done.
Oh, oh boy.
That's a free bit of gold there for the Alpha side. They weren't stealing the Aegis no matter what, so.
I was asleeping before, now I'm awakened. Let's go.
That actually, I mean, seriously, that's a pretty nice little bit of gold for nothing. You know, me just has the timing right, and is that enough to swing the next team fight their way? Well, they're still fighting into an Aegis.
Motivation they need to grab Flea.
Okay.
Grab Suits as well.
They've taken down one.
The game turns on its head. Get him out of here.
Speaking of getting out, Monster actually just got glimpsed away, so he's not available for the fight. Now they're going to drop the Static Storm on to the Tiny. They hit him up with the Black Hole as well. The arrow is flying in, but it's already too late. Soul taken down. Now they've got Realm in onto Yadomi, so it was real great there until the reinforcements arrive. Then they get caught. That's Black Hole down, I suppose, but now you can't lose anyone else. Rises. Grabs a DD rune, but needs to stay away, and looks like he's going to be able to do exactly that, although now he actually wants to push in. Now they know there's no black hole.
God, they're going for it. He's going to drop the Wraith Pack. Going to buy him a little bit of time. The damage reduction.
Oh, Realm is here.
Oh, never mind. It's not enough. That double damage is too much.
Are they going to try to keep this fight going at this point? Kind of, but not in the way that they wanted, because the Warden tried to wrap around. Instead, he runs right into Widge, so he needs backup. There's the backup. Flea comes in with the snowball, connects onto Widge. That allows Zeus to find the kill as he just fires away, and this is starting to get a little bit complicated. Rises gets hooked in, caught by the Dismember, has no time-lapse, already used it, so he is going to fall. Alpha, a bridge too far on that one. I mean,
yeah,
it's a good first move, and then they just get baited into sticking around.
They're really reaching for anything they can get at this point. They probably feel a little bit helpless after that last fight. I mean, the Mansion snatched the Aegis, but they take a bad fight inside the jungle. Now they lose another one down in the bottom lane. The Sniper now has, or he's getting pretty close to a 4-staff. He's going to get Concussive Grenade not long after that. At a certain point, you're not going to be able to jump on the back line anymore, and that's where the game gets really hard.
Well, Cringe crew trying to hunt here. They've got the 3-man smoke play. They don't have the greatest of targets, although now they're starting to ping out Soul. Can Warden get vision? Now. Would have been a solid pickup on a very low mana Tiny, but not able to make the connection. What is Zeus working on here? Dragon Lance, Mask picked up. Looks like he is just going to go into that sort of Hurricane Pike play, so he's been able to avoid a little bit of that jump over the last couple of fights, but he still knows it's coming eventually, as there it is. They get the Ava, they get the toss, they get the hook shot, and right on cue, Zeus is dead. The Warden, he's dying as well.
Right?
Boys, there it is. Nope, there it isn't. Which, little bit more effort. There we go. Don't put your shades on and turn around. You gotta finish that.
Yeah, I think they got a little bit more when they popped that stick. End up scouting them out with that scan and the flare, but he ended up getting away afterwards. And Radiant ends up scouting out the Night Stalker coming in on them there. Could have been a dangerous situation, but they managed to dodge. So they get a little bit more momentum here on the side of Alpha. Monster hiding in the trees here. I mean, they're positioned pretty well to take a fight, and inside this area of the jungle, Dark Ascension.
Oh, if they see the sniper.
With Moonlight Shadow.
There it is. Nope. Defensive hook, though, is actually going to pull Zeus away, but Monster can keep on chasing, so yeah, Zeus does still go down, but they're trying to turn this around. Snowball in, Walrus Punch connecting, Monster in trouble, dropped low, caught by the Dismember, so they'll finish him off, but they want more. They just glimpsed, who did they glimpse? They glimpsed Yadomi back into the fight. The Clockwork will be taken down. Realm, though, ends up dying. Rises joins the engagement, starts dishing out an insane amount of damage, and how did that hit Flea on the back line?
With all those units around.
How is that even possible physically? They get Widge, or excuse me, they get Flea. Widge has to sacrifice himself immediately afterwards, but that's going to go relatively well. Rises just kind of makes his way into the fight, gets to pick his moment, which is kind of the aspect of the team fight that had been missing for Alpha previously, and it works out pretty well.
Yeah, slight misplay there by Realm. I don't think he goes down in that fight if he managed to get off his flesh heap before he gets tossed up in the air. He had his rock going for a pretty long time while he was stunned. Got hit with all these small instances of damage with the toss avalanche before he hit his flesh heap.
Mm-hmm.
Working for them.
Cringe crew now
I've
having to
himself in the
regroup
top
a
lane.
bit.
Gonna go on him.
That's a problem. The arrow actually doesn't hit, so Realm can buy some time. Gotta wait for the teammates to come in, but there it is. The black hole gonna connect onto 3. They do lose Realm, but they're gonna clean up everyone else.
It's rough out here now. I mean, Realm ain't doing too hot, but he managed to secure himself his team 3 kills there. And Sunlight's now popping off. I was a little bit concerned about how like effective the black holes are gonna be, but putting in work. Idomi goes down as well. Unfortunately, you know, we're still down for another 2 minutes. Not gonna be able to take many objectives off this one. They got pretty short respawn timers right now, as well as a fortify while they push these 2 lanes. So they get a bit of XP and net worth, but they're not gonna get any objectives, unfortunately.
Well,
you're gonna pop this fortify, right?
Yeah, that's the question. If they don't, the tower's gone.
Sirs.
This is your first tier 2. You might as well.
Sirs, I beg you.
Alpha? Bueller? Bueller? Okay. Well, you know, who cares about Fortify anyway, right? Efficiency's overrated.
Who cares about, yeah, keeping your tower alive and shoving in 2 lanes at once with that port. That's, you know, things are falling apart on the side of Alpha right now, you know? They're not paying attention to small plays like that one. I'm pretty sure you don't be just saying, all right, guys, you got to make a play. Let's go. He's standing in front of the rest of his team. This is not a great place to fight into, though. I'm pretty sure they just caught the Warden on the side of this observer where they have placed behind the Radiant Tier 1 up in the top lane. But you have really good vision on the Radiant side as well. It is daytime. You can pop a Dark Ascension on Night Stalker in order to have a little advantage here, but you're essentially fighting this this observer ward. Plus Flea and Warden are both standing in front of the sniper here.
Well, let's see if they're willing to sort of pull the trigger here. Because here's the thing, the Clockwork can get in. That part's never really in doubt, but is the rest of the lineup close enough to immediately follow it up? I think Soul's in a pretty good position. Rises may have to use a Shikuchi to close the gap, so you've got to be kind of careful on the cool... what, 6 seconds? Yeah, no, he could pop it, run over, and then have it back up again for the fight. That wouldn't really be a problem. And we'll see. The game is going to be resumed. They had some, I think, packet loss, they said, but back up and ready to go. Yodomi, though, is not going to actually go for the initiation just yet.
What if Rises gets a double damage room?
That makes things
Does
interesting.
that change their mind? They're grouping up like you want to smoke.
So Yodomi, yeah, he's got one. Okay. Sends out the flare. Got the Tiny coming over. Wait, if they're gonna smoke, they're taking a while. There we go.
Yeah, this double damage rune is basically gonna be expired by the time you connect with the enemy team.
4th of its duration already. They run into Realm, but the Static Storm's actually gonna catch Rises, so he's not able to get his full damage out. They don't take down the Pudge. Now they have to be careful. This fight's getting a little bit complicated, but Realm is starting to drop. Can they finish him? Yes, they can. Yodomi sacrifices himself, but they're getting onto Seuss as well. If they take down 2 cores, they should be able to close out the rest of the fight. Flea and the Warden both dropping low. Both going to be finished off, and now it's down to Sunlight, who has no black hole and no way out.
All right. I managed to run to them in a super fortunate place. I mean, normally it's the last place you want to be is at the bottom side of that hill there, but Night Stalker pops a Dark Ascension. They only managed to catch Weaver inside that Static Storm, and unfortunately there's just no follow-up damage. We basically got to free reign in that last team fight. Taki showed the double damager, and nobody managed to get on top of him. So, sick fight there by the Alpha. If that fight had happened like another 10, 20 seconds later, no way it goes that well for them. But they managed to take it.
Yeah,
Huge
they take
victory
the
for them.
fight.
I didn't get a fight recap though. Very unlucky.
We got
Ended up being like a 6K net worth swing after that last team fight.
Let's see.
They don't
3.5
get
directly.
Roshan off,
But yeah, they didn't finish it. I don't know. I think based on the positioning, they could have gotten away with it, but they don't have that vision, right? They don't necessarily know that the Enigma wasn't sort of coming in immediately off of respawn, things like that, so they decide to play it safe, but now neph, if Cringe Crew somehow managed to win the next fight pretty convincingly, and Roshan swings momentum their way, right? Of course, they gotta win the fight first.
I mean, it's hard right now.
You know what I mean?
At the moment, the Enigma...
Okay.
The clock was taken care of. This makes landing a black hole all of a sudden so much easier. But I was just about to say, the Enigma's like 1,000 gold away from a BKB. It's so hard to land this black hole when you have to worry about battery cell like taking you down if you're black holing on top of the clock working. But he's been pretty effective this game outside of like just his black holes, and even the ones that he's landed have been pretty sick. Other than the one that he missed, and we all laughed at him. But...
Well, the Clockwork is going to be able to respawn, so Yonomi's death is a bummer, a bit unfortunate, but really not a deal breaker, right? He comes right back up, and Roche hasn't even fully regened its health yet, so it's still up in the air. Flea sends the shards in, checking it out, making sure there's no one in there, and we might have a little bit of a stalemate developing here around the pit. Does he... Yeah, he's got Ascension on Monster.
This is my kind of support. Warden walked up the hill with no fear.
Oh my god. Just goes straight in. Yodomi, though, yeah, gonna get hooked, gonna get taken down. The Warden, though, does die, but he'll buy back immediately. TPs to the tier 1, still has Static Storm, and Alpha decide, yeah, we don't really want to be here at the moment, so...
There's like 15 seconds of Dark Ascension available.
Is that enough for them to try and do anything? Because they're looking like they're backing off for now. As Rises... What is this? That's an empty courier. What?
How far are you from this black bar? I mean, really what you want to do at this point is get the last 700 gold for this BKB on Enigma within the next, like, minute or two. Well, minute, not 2 minutes. And go clear Roshan before Dark Ascension is back up.
Sending the Eidolons mid. Susto, he's going to take a little bit of that farm away, but it's a sniper. That's kind of the way it goes. As Sooths has finished off something. Is this the crit stick? Yes, it is. So he is going to hit quite a bit harder. He's got the Hurricane Pike. They've got some defensive abilities to maybe save him. So Alpha really do have to stay on him. And right now, your two options are, what, Night Stalker and Clock? Because I find it hard to believe that Soul gets close enough to blink in without being noticed in the first place, because he doesn't have any sort of invis to play around.
Yeah. All right, they're smoking up now. They don't want to wait for anything, and this is the ideal time for them to go for something. 30 gold away from a BKB on this this Enigma.
They spot Flea.
If they just find Flea, I feel like things aren't so bad.
Flea's even going to make him work for it here, so it's not going to be an easy kill. They should get this. The DOT, okay, yeah.
Oh, the bug.
Very close
I
call.
hate to see it.
But honestly, if you're Cringe Crew, you say, okay, thank you for your service, Flea. That got us 2 BKBs while 5 heroes were chasing you, and they're good to go. Of course, well, okay, I was going to say maybe they wait until the Tusk is back up. They're not even going to do that. They're going to push their way forward. Got the Black Hole, they've got the Blink, they've got the BKB. They don't want to jump on Yodomi, though. That's not exactly the target they're hoping for, but the hook doesn't connect. They do get the Static Storm down onto one, and oh no! No! Absolute whiff from Sunlight, and now what do? Monster is charging his way forward. They're going directly onto Sooth. The Sniper is getting really just completely locked down here, and he is going to fall. And that's, I don't really know what they can even do here. Realm is going to try to make something happen. Flea coming in to help him out. Snowball does connect onto the Tiny, get the Walrus Punch as well, but Realm is starting to lose HP. He does manage to finish the job, though. But Rises and Widge will chase after him, and Neph, that was the worst possible scenario for Cringe Crew playing out there.
I mean, the punch was alive the entire time. He's putting in work, but he waited so long for that BKB. It comes out, you end up missing. the Weaver had just completed the data list before that team fight as well. He's gone like all in on this damage build, and he pretty uncontested just got to hit heroes that entire time. Get on top of this Weaver, I don't think they have enough damage on Alpha to be able to kill any of these heroes, but he managed to run around uncontested like we were talking about. Now we got to wait another 2 minutes before we have Black Hole available again. Alpha is just going to a reign of the map. I mean, I was concerned about them this game. They did not look good in the early game. They got like destroyed the previous one, and all of a sudden up 9k net worth. They still have 80s to work with here. The game's in Alpha's hands. You always have a way to come back when you've got Black Hole to work with, but it's going to be tricky to come back here.
Okay. Sunlight's able to TP away. Flea will walk out, and I think if you're Cringe Crew, that has to be your mindset right now, right? That fight goes so terribly for you, but you think to yourself, okay, the timing was wrong and we hit a 0-man Black Hole. So if we maybe hit heroes with Black Hole next time, we can still take that fight. If Sooths doesn't get run at because the Black Hole whiffs, we've got our damage, we've got our lockdown. Try and sort of be in that mindset right now, because, like you said, a well-placed Black Hole just wins them a fight.
DD found on the sniper. I mean,
okay.
They don't have Black Hole to work with another 50 seconds, but they might be able to blow up this Weaver fast enough with the DD on Suits.
Have to catch him maybe in the static and or dismember play, but there's a Lincoln's up, so the dismember is a little bit less likely.
Concussive grenade coming out on Suits now. This is one more way for him to get away from
uh-oh, Suits. Not able to maintain the separation. They're going to run him down. They get both of the supports in exchange, I suppose, but now they need to deal with Rises. Lincoln's popped.
Left.
Okay.
10 until Black Hole's available again. I mean, they could stall this out, maybe bait the Weaver into them. They can take out the first life and drop Black Hole in the second, but
right.
Looks like they're just going to dodge for now.
Okay. Well, that ends up being Seuss for 2, which, according to the fight recap, actually gets them a pretty decent amount of gold. You aren't going to feel super comfortable having to sacrifice your sniper, but you don't come away empty-handed. You get some gold. There's a blink up on Realm now, so...
The issue is that your sniper is kind of empty-handed at the moment. He's got Mask of Madness, Hurricane Pike, Chrysalis here, 31 minutes in the game. You want him to be more farm than this, and he's going to be your right-click damage. I mean, your other position 1 is this Pudge, who is doing pretty well in these team fights.
What?
Just as I say that.
Well, that Static Storm is going to hit onto Widge after the Glimpse, so... They do find a kill. Looking for a little bit more. There's the Black Hole! But it's canceled immediately. He didn't use his BKB first. That is so bad, unfortunate for them, but they're still trying to push their way forward. Where is Seuss? Can he get into this fight in time to do some damage? He is coming up from the rear. The Realm is just trying to keep them in place. They're able to take down Monster. Rise is falling as well. There's the first life down, but what do you have to deal with the second?
They snowball through him as he's respawning.
Rise is now trapped inside the kinetic. Does he have the time lapse? He doesn't finish this. He doesn't finish the channel in time.
I mean, even if he time lapses, he goes back to just before he died.
Right. With
the Aegis. His health is incredibly low. It is so difficult to get that one off properly with like good timing. You need like incredible timing and a lot of luck. So sick play there by Flea, getting on top with the snowball pre his resurrection. So he just spawns into a stun there with the Weaver.
Ooh. Well,
that's exactly what they needed. I mean, Black Hole didn't go their way, but everything else did, thankfully.
Yep. Full lane of Rax taken mid. I don't know if the death timers are gonna cooperate for them to push top. The Weaver doesn't have buyback, but I don't think they're actually aware of that, and they don't want to take any sort of risk. There's no Black Hole anymore, so... Lane of Rax, rotate out. Looking pretty good for them, but I don't know. Like you said, Flea saves the day, because without that snowball getting the second stun, they just whiff Black Hole and have nothing really to play for and just have to back out.
I like the restraint they had after that fight. Like, they've taken bad fights before, they end up pushing themselves too far forward. They realized they were in a rough position a couple of minutes ago. They want to give Alpha another chance to come back into this one. So wait for the black hole again. Maybe wait for another fight around the Roche pit. Is the route they want to go down. Rises is going to be more difficult to kill next time they go into him, though. He'll have the Satanic available, and he can kind of stand his ground when he's not being hit with that black hole.
In the meantime, Seuss picked up a Blink Dagger, so... Okay, right, a little bit more in the way of maneuverability might make him harder to hit, assuming it doesn't get immediately cancelled. Realm. How do they want to do this? They need to be able to protect Seuss. He is getting hit up here, but he's able to get himself out with the Hurricane Pike. The Warden does die, but he'll buy back immediately. They're going to try and turn the fight, but Rises tried to go straight in onto that sniper. He's not able to finish the kill, though, and now with Monster dead on the front line, they've got to try to go with the black hole catches! They've got the black hole. The hookshot only hits onto Eidolon, so they can't cancel it. Rises, though, still getting away. Lincoln Sphere popped. Can he run himself out of here? It looks like for now he can. But Yudomi may not be as safe. The snowball is going to hit onto him. Fleet, there we go. One last hit to finish the job. So they take down Monster. They get Yudomi. They have to buy back on the Warden, but I don't think they care that much about that. But the most important aspect, Neph, Seuss lives, right? He's going top.
I mean, that was just his concussive grenade coming in clutch there. Rises is having an excellent job, like... He's doing an excellent job priority targeting in these team fights, knowing he needed to catch a sniper on the back line if he was going to be able to take that last team fight, and managed to dodge out the positioning of Enigma for long enough as well. Know that the enemy team is far enough away from him, even when he throws out that black hole, there isn't the follow-up damage to be able to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Warden had to sacrifice himself again. That is a dieback from him, but... Meh.
I don't think much is happening in the next 60 seconds here, unless it's just like an instant Roche respawn and Alpha scouted out right away with like a flare right now. The death doesn't really matter too much.
Let's see. Do we get instant Roche? Not even a little bit. Okay, 2.5 minutes. But now, Alpha or...
I realize where the sniper is, though. They circled this one. I don't think they'll reach him fast enough, though. He's probably on his way out right now, and his team is coming up into him.
Yep. Able to walk away. What's he working on at this point? Looking for the Daedalus upgrade, so... Some
Wants
more
to be able
damage.
to match the damage of the Weaver, because right now he's getting his ass kicked by this bug.
He did finish that off. Oh, did finish that off, but he doesn't actually blink all the way out. He is going to be in trouble. Can they save him? Seuss trying to get himself out. The black hole does connect onto 2, but it didn't hit Rises, so he's going to continue the chase. Trying to get onto the sniper. Seuss holding his ground, but not long enough. Seuss does fall. Monster, though, goes down in exchange. They blow the Lincolns. They get the hook onto Rises. They need more lockdown, though. And I'm not really sure that they have it. They're going to lose Sunlight. Realm is just stunned forever, but Flea's coming in. Static Storm onto the Weaver, locking him down. That buys time for the Dismember. They find the kill. They get Soul here as well. And, Widge, where are you going? What are you...
He ain't going nowhere. Widge ain't going nowhere. Run with the godlike and the triple kill after that. But we were locked down. I mean, he popped the Satanic. I thought he was going to be able to kill through that, but immediately afterwards, the stuns come out onto him. He's hit with the snowball immediately after Dismember. He just spent like 5-6 seconds there stunned. The Walrus Punch, Dismember, and the snowball afterwards. There's absolutely no chance, man.
How does this keep happening? We keep saying, oh, you know, they're not really going to be able to win a fight if they don't land black holes well, but they do anyway. And then we say, okay, maybe you can miss black hole, but Seuss has to stay alive. No, he dies, they win anyway. Every time we tell Cringe Crew what they need to do, they say, no, screw you, we don't need it.
We got 20 ways to win this team fight. We're a Swiss Army knife of a team.
Oh, man. That does swing some net worth their way as they do take the lead after trailing for like, what, 15 minutes or so? So things are starting to look pretty good. They still have that lane advantage as well way back when they got the tier 3 in the Rax mid, so... If you're Alpha, you gotta start being a little bit more careful. Rises may not go down easily, but if he does go down, looks rough.
Yeah, this is good news. It's good news and bad news. DD Rune is gonna spawn outside the Roche pit as soon as Roche respawns, but I'm pretty sure the end of that rocket flare ended up catching at the Roche spawn. So you have to give it away if you want to clear this one up. They're gonna go for it, though.
Okay. This is a very fast Roche with a DD, though, and I don't really know that Alpha get here in time.
They don't.
They're moving like they can, but they can't. Aegis for Suits, Refresher Shard for your Enigma, Cheese into the hands of Flea on the Tusk, and now, well, what exactly do you do here, right? If we avoid Black Hole, we're okay, but he has 2. If we kill Seuss, we're okay, but he's got 2 lives. The cheese on Flea is just kind of extra, I guess. I'm not really sure that's too big. And also cheese, but...
I think I'll hold on to it for now until the sniper goes down and we'll pass it with him again. There's really not much of a point of them giving it to anyone else, it feels.
Do they try the high ground push again here? They got the creep wave in. Seuss... very far forward, actually, but yeah, he's got his blink. He's gonna be fine. Alpha, how do you respond here? They've got 3 heroes... had 3 heroes down in the bottom lane. They are starting to TP back, but by the time they're in position, the tower's going down.
They gotta make a move soon, otherwise they're just gonna lose the racks. So, ideal start to this team fight is you toss one of these heroes back. The sniper is your best bet, but you get out of this one anyways. Melee rack stays alive, but just barely. They can choose to go back in for this one whenever they feel. And it looks like they feel like it right now.
Zeus says, I've got the range. Let's just get it.
We'll see if they can start this
There's the toss back, though. Okay. But they've got to watch out. Where is the Enigma? You have to know his location. He is just hanging back on the back line. Monster, though, does try to push forward, but he's getting pushed into the black hole. They've locked him down. They don't have enough damage to actually kill him off just yet, but now they'll get the job done, which means Rises... well, he needs a little bit of backup on the back line, but there's going to be the second black hole catching him out. Do they have the damage to actually kill him off, though? They do with the snowball coming in. The lockdown is there. No time lapse, no satanic, no buyback from the Weaver. And at this point, Neph, Alpha, can they do this? Do they have enough?
This is your ideal way of starting the last team, but I don't think they do. Okay, they go on sniper a second time, but...
he gets eaten by his teammate. They're not going to be able to finish him off. Monster went back in, but this is a dieback if he goes down. And
I think that's going to be it. I mean, they did everything right in that last team fight. They get the toss off on the sniper. The first black hole, the Weaver barely managed to avoid it. He managed to get on top of the sniper after his second life, but unfortunately, he's got, you know, the force staff, the concussive grenade, ends up getting away just long enough to be able to blink out, and they couldn't connect with them. And the Cringe crew managed to take this game back, despite the fact they almost brought the game. 9k advantage here at like 25-30 minutes into it, but they couldn't keep that lead up. A couple good team fights with the Wave Cringe crew, and that was that.
Cringe crew managed to pull it out. Looked pretty impressive there, and as we said, it was a little bit concerning at times. We'll take a look. There we go. Take a look at the graph, because they were down. Well, according to the graph, actually, it did clip the 10k mark. I thought that it hadn't quite gotten there, but you know, the graphs never lie, right?
Just barely before they ended up taking that team fight. I think it was the triple black hole coming off on the Pudge, but after that, the game just started turning the other way. A couple things went their way. But
unfortunate for Al.
Yeah, they played well. I mean, they moved around the black holes pretty well. A couple of them, you just ended up having to whiff completely on Enigma, but managed to outplay them in these team fights. Position 1 Pudge was nothing to laugh about. I mean, the sniper was an issue, and you know, the priority targeted a lot of these fights, but the Pudge ended up doing a ton of damage as well, just rotting everyone down. In fact, he ended up doing the most on his team, 47k, compared that to the 35 on the Weaver. So, I mean, sniper's a problem, but the real threat was Pudge, like, rotting everyone down while you tried to run at that sniper. I was concerned about it, but well, they had a decent answer. You can run on our sniper if you want, but we're still doing a ton while that happens.
And it felt like for Cringe Crew in a lot of those fights, things did not go according to plan, right? Black Hole whiffed or only hit one, and Sniper died once or twice in the middle of those fights. It really did feel like they were scrambling in a lot of circumstances, but they always bought enough time to get the right hero into position to really just kind of cut Alpha off at the knees. Because if you take a look at their stat lines across the board here, other than your Weaver, other than Rises, everyone else just didn't do what was needed, especially the support duo. Yudomi and Widge, we talked about how important they would be, how disruptive they could be against the Enigma and things like that. 27 deaths combined between them, and they weren't really that stopping force against anything on the Cringe Crew side.
Mm-hmm. They made them be a little bit careful with their positioning, and they gave Sniper a hard time for a little while, but excuse me.
Bless you.
What a way to end the broadcast. They gave them trouble for a little while, but unfortunately, Sniper ended just getting too strong. They were able to dodge things out. You have two tools to get out of the cogs after a certain point, both the concussive grenade and the hurricane pike, which you ended up building. So couldn't be that answer to the Sniper the entire game. The Sniper had answers to you.
Mm-hmm.
Did a nice job of dealing with some of these hard counters to the heroes. I'm impressed with what Cringe Crew has gotten, and I'm impressed that one of the NA teams, it continues to be pretty strong.
Yeah. And for Alpha, I will say this at least. I do have a silver lining this time around compared to the last series, Neph. Alpha, we said they needed to make adjustments after they got kind of blasted in game one. Up until the very end, it looked like the adjustments had been made. They were playing much better, and yes, they lose the series 0-2, but this game was actually competitive as opposed to game one where they kind of looked like they were just treading water for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
Still a loss.
I'm impressed. North America still has a little bit of hope here. It was looking rough for us. We've lost some of our good teams. EG is gone, but Cringe Crew ain't looking too cringe, man. Ain't looking too cringe.
Cringe Crew getting the win here. That does give us an opportunity to talk about what's coming up tomorrow, actually, because we are done for today. We had 2 best of 3s on the schedule. We have just gotten through both of them. That does mean we have 2 for tomorrow afternoon as well. And Neff, we will get to see some more of those NA teams that are still standing in the region. We've got 5 Rat 4 staff taking on No Runes first. After that, it's Team Dogchamp going up against Team Brazil. So a pair of NA versus SA matchups to watch, and we'll have to see if there is still hope for North America.
I'm a little bit worried about this matchups. I'm not gonna lie. 5Rat did end up winning the last Pro Series, though.
That is true. They looked really good.
Reigning champions. How come they weren't invited to face?
Uh-oh. You see, Neff, you can't ask those questions. You ask those kinds of questions and they take your camera away. All right? Hold on, let's see if we can get him back. Neff? There
Hello.
you go.
I ended up kicking a cord. I got angry. Why weren't they invited to phase 3?
Well, that's actually kind of a good question. Or at least phase 2. I don't know. Having to play out in the first phase after winning the previous Pro Series is a little rough, but
just ain't right. What are these other teams that are in there? Beast Coast? I don't know who they are.
I know of a Beast Coast with a lowercase b. I've never heard of this uppercase b nonsense. I don't know. Must be a different team.
Those guys are so fake. They used to talk about lowercase branding. It used to be the thing.
Oh, yeah, who else is in here? Some team called Nouns. Never heard of them. No idea.
I don't know who they are.
Very strange. Perfectly timed. But we are starting to ramble. Those are the matchups for tomorrow. Again, that is 5 Rat versus No Runes, followed by Dogchamp versus Team Brazil. So, stop by, check it out, see if the NA squads can get some momentum for themselves, or if South America is going to reign supreme here in Phase 1. For now, though, we are just about done and dusted here. So, Neff, day 1, some closing thoughts, some maybe thoughts on what's coming up tomorrow. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it was good. I'm thinking today was solid. We got to see one NA team do reasonably well. I'm excited to see what Cringe Crew pulls off the rest of this Pro Series. Tomorrow, we're going to see if 5 Rat, they got lucky because these good teams weren't inside Pro Series, or they actually stomped. I thought they were going to be top 3. I thought they were going to end up beating out Wildcard to make it to the last chance qualifiers. But it didn't end up happening. We'll see if it was just a one-off that tournament, the last chance qualifiers, the regional qualifiers, or they could end up getting towards phase 3. I'm thinking like tier 1, phase 1, whatever. If they can end up getting to phase 3 of this tournament and proving they're a strong team against some of these other competitors. So I'm very excited to see what 5 Rat does tomorrow.
And again, that will be our first matchup. Same start time as today, 1 p.m. Pacific. That is 4 o'clock Eastern if you're on the wrong section of the country, but you can't choose where you live. But that is all. We are going to be hopping on out of here. So again, folks, thank you all for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.